Now, you've probably seen a lot of AI tools claiming they can help you write your books, but what if I told you there's one that can actually create a complete storybook, cover, story, illustrations in just a few minutes? I'm not talking about halfway done drafts or generic image generators. I'm talking about full storybooks you can sell on Amazon KDP, Etsy, and even your own store. Books that look professional, feel premium, and are finished from start to end, all with the help of one new AI tool. What's even more impressive is that this AI doesn't just generate the art or the story, it can suggest the themes, create characters, and even design the entire flow of your book. So whether you're a beginner looking to get started with your first storybook, or a seasoned publisher wanting to expand your product line beyond low content, this tool can completely change your entire workflow. So in this video, I'll show you exactly how to use it step by step so you can start creating and selling your own storybooks today. Now, if this is your first time here, my name is Jeff, and this channel is all about becoming self-sufficient when it comes to making money online. So if this sounds like you, feel free to give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell so you can be notified whenever I release a new video. With that being said, let's get right to it. Now let's go over to Amazon and look at some of these examples of storybooks. So there's this one right here called Train Your Angry Dragon. This is a cute children's story to teach kids about emotions and anger management. But if you notice, look at the bestsellers rank 3,773, and that is for the paperback version. Now keep in mind with the storybooks, you can actually sell this through Kindle, as well as audiobook and a hardcover version. So there are 4 ways to make money off of one book. Now we see 30-day royalties from Titan's Quick View. Look at this number, anywhere from $5,000 to almost $8,000 per month in royalties, and the 30-day sales, anywhere from 1,000 to almost 2,000 sales per month. Now this may look complicated, but it really isn't. So if we look at the sample, here's the book belongs to page, and then the first page really is right here for the start of the story. So as you can see, very nice illustration, and then here's the start of the story, the next page, and we all know what a storybook is. Like I said, this does look complicated if you don't know how to actually create this, you don't know how to draw, you don't have a budget to hire an illustrator. This all can be very overwhelming. But if we just look at this objectively, these types of books are actually very simple books. And if we look at this sales graph right here, I'm going to show you that these types of books sell year round. Now, this is for the past year. You can see the ups and downs here, but if we go all time, you can see for the most part, this has been a consistent seller. So that's why these are great books, because they're going to sell year round. Some A+ content right here, and then some more books or some more products from the publisher right here. Now looking at the reviews, we can see some photos here of what the book actually looks like. So there it is right there. This one right here actually says horrible print quality. And then here is the front cover of the physical book. Now here's another example of a storybook. This one's a little bit different. This one has a bestsellers rank of 59,623. So for 30-day royalties from Titan's Quick View, that's around $600 to almost $1,000 per month, and then 120 to 180 sales per month. Now this is the hardcover version we're looking at, $11.68. Now, if we look at the A+ content, we're going to see that this book is a little bit different. So you have your illustration, very minimal, and even fewer words, and then more illustrations. And this book is made up with a lot of puns. So it's a very funny book, humorous book. It's designed to make people laugh. Now, if we look at the pictures of the reviews, we can see what it looks like inside. Here's the front cover and then the interior right here. Once again, very minimal book, but this is another type of storybook that can be done. And here's another example of a storybook doing well. This one's ranked at 16,350, 30-day royalties of 1,000 to 1,600 per month, 30-day sales 400 to 612 copies per month. Now this is independently published, which means that this was published through the KDP platform. And this book is doing very well, priced at $9.99. Also available with Kindle, and that is only with the 6x9 inch. Now, if you're going to create a square, like 8.5 by 8.5 inch book, you really can only sell it as a print option. So keep that in mind as well. The AI tool that I'm going to show you can create it in whatever dimensions you want, the 6x9 inches. It can even do the audiobook version for you if you wanted that. Now, when we look at the sample, this is Oxalotl Tales for Kids. And as you can see, This is kind of what it looks like. You have your table of contents, chapter page, and then your illustration right here. And then here, meet Alex the axolotl. There is the story, and then picture. We look at the A+ content, maybe we can get an idea of what it looks like inside. No more interiors here, but maybe in the reviews we can find something. So here's one of the pages. Once again, illustration and then the story. Very simple. Illustration and then the story. So this is another way to create this type of book. Now you see some of these storybooks bring in hundreds, even thousands of sales each month. And what's interesting is that not every one of these books come from big publishing houses. There's a lot of small independent creators, people just like you and me who figure out how to turn a simple idea into something people actually want to read and buy. And here's the part that's easy to overlook. Behind every one of those storybooks is a lot of work. Writing the story, editing it, designing illustrations, formatting pages. It's a process that can take weeks, sometimes even months to finish one book. And for a lot of new publishers, that's where it stops. The idea is there, but the time, the skills, and the cost to bring it all together just feels out of reach. But what if it didn't have to be that way? That's where this new AI tool comes in. It completely changes how you can create storybooks. And instead of spending weeks writing, editing, and designing, this AI can literally handle all the heavy lifting for you, from coming up with the story ideas to writing full stories with characters, settings, dialogue, and generating matching illustrations, and even the book cover. And it's not some generic generator that just spits out random content. It's actually smart. You can guide it, choose your theme, tone, art style, and even the type of story that you want to tell. So whether it's a children's bedtime story or a motivational short story, or even a picture book, it can do it. So let's actually jump into the tutorial and I'll walk you through exactly how to use this AI to create a complete storybook. Now this tool is called Ohanashi AI Gen, and I'm going to show you just how easy this is. So here is where we're going to generate a story. You're going to just choose an age range right here. I chose 5 to 10, but if we click on this question mark, you can do things like 6 to 8 years, preschool, adult, just a specific age group, and it can detect what you want. So as you can see here, detected ages 5 to 10. Now the language, which is really cool, is that not only English, but you can actually create it in other languages like Spanish, French, German, and Italian. Now, if you're going to go with these other languages, you really want to do your due diligence and make sure that the translations are correct, because this is an AI tool. And so you do need to actually make sure that it's doing it correctly. But in this case, I went ahead and did English. Now with the plot outline, you can go ahead and write something in here. I didn't really know what to write, so I clicked give me an idea. And when you click there, it's going to come up with this box. Now this one, you can do a steering phrase like rainy day fort, missing sock, school play, or you can just hit generate idea. And that's exactly what I did. Once you hit generate idea, it's going to give you a brand new idea like this one right here. During a rainy afternoon, friends build a blanket fort that starts to sag. So they work together using chairs, books, and jokes to keep it standing until the storm passes. And then you can go ahead and use this idea, or you can generate it again. Now, the one that I have is this one, because I wanted to create a storybook of kids playing in the backyard with their pets and family. And so this one says, one sunny afternoon, a family and their pets turn a backyard obstacle course into a playful rescue mission where a curious puppy gets stuck behind the garden shed. Working together, they find clever ways to guide the puppy back, turning teamwork into the day's biggest adventure. Now, I did not come up with this myself right here. I literally told this AI that all I wanted was a backyard theme with kids playing with pets and their family. And this is what I came out with. Now with the author name, you can do an idea here if you don't want to put your own name, if you don't have a brand. I'm just going to put my name, my brand, Jeff Set Life. And then with the art style, you can do children's book illustration, but there's a whole host of art styles here, from watercolor painting to realistic storybook to the vintage children's book, which can be a really good idea. You have modern minimalist. You have a lot of things here that you can try out. But for this one, I went with children's book illustration. Now, next part, writing style. There are a lot of different types of writing styles here: action-packed, conversational, descriptive. And if you're not sure which one, for example, conversational, you can click on it. It can tell you what it is. So heavy on dialogue, character conversations with minimal description. You click here and these are the writing guidelines for this writing style. And then you can even have an example here. So very easy. I went with descriptive, and this is the writing guidelines right here, an example. And this one's going to be rich in sensory details, atmospheric descriptions. Now, next, character names. You can come up with your own character names, or you could have AI suggest character names. Well, what I did was I generated all characters and descriptions and images using the AI. And these are the characters it came up with. So here's one right here, Mia. And you can read the description right here, all made by AI. I didn't touch any of this. Here's Jake and the description right here. Rosie, the description right here. Here's Buddy, here's the description. And then Mr. Whiskers, description. Now you can always regenerate. You can always tweak this. So you can write things in here and tweak it out, or you can have AI just keep giving you ideas and keep letting it work for you. And so that's exactly what I did. Now we get on to the next part, and this is the word count. So by default, it's going to give 90 to 150 words per page, a target of 130 words. You can override this and you can click manual. You want to create a pun book like the second example that I showed you. Well, you can put the words down right here. I kept it with automatic. And then for the picture frequency, you can choose no pictures, so all words. You can do picture every chapter. But I wanted to do a picture after every page. And so that's what I chose. And you want to keep this clicked. You want to use Nano Banana. This is the best image generator out there right now. Make sure you have that checked. Now, the next part is the image variations per page. This gives you the options that it will create 2 variations of the illustrations, and you can choose which one to go with. So I did actually choose 2. And then the great part is right here. You can auto-generate the book cover using this tool, and then you can choose to include the title on the cover and if you want to have your author name on it or not. So I just chose all of those. And then like I said, with the trim size, 8.5 by 8.5 inches, this is what I wanted to make. But if you want to take advantage of all of those other forms of sales on Amazon KDP, you want to choose this master 6 by 9 inch. This is the one that's going to allow you to sell it as the Kindle or the ebook version, as well as the paperback version. Now, that's it. All you do is hit generate story. It's going to take a couple minutes. This one for me took about 10 minutes, but once it finished, I'll show you what it looks like. This is the story preview. And so this is what it looks like. As we can see here, the cover was automatically generated during the story creation. So book size 8.5 by 8.5 inches. Now the page count is 14. Now obviously you can do more pages than this, so just up like this, update page count if that's what you want. Now cover concept. Now you can go ahead and write something in here so that you can kind of steer this AI in the direction that you want your cover to look like. But just how it is, you can see this is what it came up with. Buddy's Backyard Rescue. Here are all the characters here, and then the author name. Now if I was gonna change this, I would probably remove, because there's 2 Jakes in here, so I'd probably remove one of these, and that's very easy to do here because you can just regenerate the cover. And you can also edit the cover right here. And then very easy, as you can see, you can download these covers. Now, if you want me to go through the whole cover portion here, because up here you can see there's an entire section for the book cover, an entire generator where we can do the back cover, we can edit this. Let me know down below. I'll make another video just covering the cover generator from this AI. Now here is the actual story. So chapter 1, the backyard challenge. Here's the content. Once again, I did not write any of this. This is all from AI. The sun spilled warm gold across the backyard, turning the grass into a glowing carpet. Mia tugged at her yellow shirt, feeling the soft fabric against her skin. Jake, his red cap tilted sideways, stood grinning as the light caught his freckles. Rosie, the golden brown puppy, wagged her tail so hard it brushed the air like a broom, and so on and so forth and so on and so forth. And then you can see the picture concept right here. So the AI wrote this once again, and then you can see that it came up with 2 variations. So if I go ahead and check this out, so as you can see, the fence looks different here. But if you choose this option, you can go ahead and choose variation 1, variation 2. By default, it chooses variation 1, and then you can make that selection. Now, if you do make any changes here, you're going to want to go ahead and click Save Page to make sure it saves your selection. Here's page 2, and then here are the illustrations. Once again, very, very high quality. Page 3, here are the illustrations. Very nice. It's already good by itself, but when you add the combination of the story with these illustrations, that's why this tool is very, very powerful. And then more illustrations here. And you can see as we run down through the chapters here, you can see these images and these illustrations, all very nice, very cohesive. The theme is spot on, characters are the same, and the story basically keeps up with these illustrations. Now here's chapter 4, and then the end right there. Now, if you like everything that you see, you can go back up here, and you can go and export story. So once you click here, it'll take you to another page where you can export this story. Now it'll ask you the trim size, and then you can actually play around with these margins from top, bottom, left, and right. I'm just going to keep everything the same. And then the title page, your author name, your character for the title page. I chose Jake, this one right here. And then also even includes a copyright page. So by default, it's Ohanashi Jen and then the QR code. But obviously, we can go ahead and remove this. But I'll leave this here just so you can see what it looks like. And by default, it's going to use your author name as the copyright text. Now with the chapter pages, you can include a chapter page where you can also choose chapter title. We didn't have a subtitle. And then also you can move the first page image to chapter page if available. Now with the page options, you can change the font. So this is 18 font and the default theme, but here are the other fonts that you can choose from. And then you can also choose the picture placement. So you can do before page, top of page, left side, right side, after page. So I just stuck with before page. And then the picture max size, I went 100%. You can go as little as 5%. And now with the export options, you can choose PowerPoint. There's a PowerPoint legacy version, PDF, open document, Word document, which is beta. But for KDP, once again, you can sell this through Etsy as well as other platforms like TNT. But for KDP, it's a PDF. Here's the file name. You can change this if you want. And then export settings include title page, copyright page, story images. You can include the page numbers, which I'll go ahead and just do. Add bleed. And then for the position, I'll just put center. Select this if you want your images to ignore margins. You can also use grayscale images. That's an option right here. Now, all you do is export story. It will produce the PDF version right here. Just download that PDF. And here it is right here. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. Jeff Set Live presents Buddy's Backyard Rescue. So here is that page I was talking about. So this is the copyright page. You can go ahead and delete this. You can put whatever you want here. If you want to create an email list or you want to add a bonus, your own QR code, you can go ahead and do that yourself with the tool. And then here's the first page. So this one is the illustration is first and then the story. You can flip-flop this if you want. So there's the first page and there's the story, second page, story, next page, story. And let's just go through this. Here's the next page. Here's the next illustration. There's the next illustration, the story. Now it's a good idea to go ahead and read the story that's created. Make sure everything's correct. Make sure there's nothing controversial or nothing that sounds off. You can go ahead and make edits to those inside of the tool. But just from what the AI can do, you can see the power of this. Created this entire storybook in literally 10 minutes. And it created the PDF version, laid out everything for me. And not just that, like I said before. So everything is ready to upload onto KDP. We have our files. And that's all you really need. You need your cover file, you need your interior file, which we have. And then all you have to do is finish the upload process on KDP or Etsy or whatever platform that you're using. Hit upload and congratulations, you've just published your first storybook, 100% using AI. Now, if you want to check out Ohanashi AI Gen, I'll leave the link down below. Now, keep in mind, I am using the elite version. This is the top of the line version, fully unlocked. There are 3 versions of this tool for those of you on a budget. So there's a basic version that allows you to create these books as well. And then there's the middle version that offers some more things for you. And then this is the fully unlocked version because this allows me, for example, to do the full book cover generator here. And not just that, but this AI can also create the audiobook version of your storybook. If you want to check out Ohanashi AI Gen, I'll leave the link down below. And that's how easy it is to create a 100% complete storybook using AI. What used to take weeks of writing, editing, and illustrating can now be done in just a few minutes without sacrificing quality. But if you're not quite ready to dive into storybooks yet, I'll leave my free KDP royalty roadmap down below. It's my beginner-friendly guide that walks you through how to create and sell your first low-content book on Amazon KDP. If this video helped you see what's possible, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss my next video. With that being said, thanks for watching. Bye for now.